Studying abroad has been cited as a life-changing experience, and that immersing yourself in different cultures makes your human experience more complete. As an international student, one daunting aspect is integrating into a new environment. We all want to feel like we belong, and so our first instinct is to look for people like us. However, when coming to university, one must always keep in mind that similarity can never be fully achieved. It's always relative, partial, and dynamic, as we're constantly adapting to fit new environments. In our search for similarity, we look for people who we share attributes like nationality or ethnicity with, thinking that they would be most relatable. These could potentially be essentialist markers that make us inclined to think of people as similar or different just based on those variables. In university, for example, a much more effective intercultural experience could be delving into university societies and joining people with similar interests and hobbies in niche areas like cooking, dance, or film. These small cultures help us bond in ways that are not defined by any ethnic, national, or racial boundaries. They help us connect on a more than superficial level because they aim to eliminate essentialist boundaries by focusing on universal experiences. This is not to say that aiming to make friends from specific nationalities or ethnicities is in of itself essentialist, but rather recognizing that you cannot form generalized assumptions based on a singular encounter with a person from country X, and that you probably have more in common with people if you choose to focus on the small cultures that each of you may occupy. This is my experience in studying abroad in the UK. What's your experience like?
Hello, my name is daunting, and I'm the interviewer for this interview. Throughout this whole discussion, I can feel like both two girls they all have different views about West culture and Eastern culture, and they have different attitudes between Chinese and English. Despite they are living in Leeds now, but you can find they really try hard to get involved and find a balance between their language and the cultures in here. That's a really pressure thing for us, for all Chinese.
I like to watch some American films, American movie shows. Because of that, so I have a step further to study English.
的来源是来自于学校的教学，会有老师，会有练习，学习一些听力、语法什么的，单词之类的。然后看一些短视频
TikTok 这种。
对，像 TikTok 这样的话，会有一些搞笑博主，他们可能会分享一些自己的日常。
For example, we use Chinese, we will prefer to get closer to the Chinese political ideology. We just use simple language. We only use one language. It's for us it's not a wider thinking or wider thoughts. We will just focus on one thing or one aspect of one thing. So, for example, previously we have talked about. I have introduced different Chinese media platform to my American friends. So I introduced that Weibo to her. But for me personally, I think that's a different social media or social media platform for them. So during that process, I have said I have just made that more simple to introduce.